I quietly opened my mom's drawer. Inside were 100 teeth. When I was young, my mom used to collect all my fallen teeth. I never knew why she wanted to keep them. But I didn't think much of it. It's just something she always did. I remember she used to say, throwing away teeth brings bad luck. She was a very superstitious woman. Growing up with her, I was influenced by her too. She kept all my teeth in a little wooden box. The box was covered in peeling red paint, with red velvet lining the bottom and sides of the box. The teeth sat on top of the soft fabric. She kept the square box in the top drawer of her bedside table. I only saw the box appear when I lost another tooth. She would take it out and put the tooth inside. Other than that, it stayed in the drawer. I rarely thought about the box or the teeth I'd lost. I had forgotten it even existed. Until yesterday when I remembered. I recently moved out of my mom's house. I was moving all my stuff to my new apartment. I went to her house to pack up the last few things I needed to take with me. My mom was sitting at the dining table, wearing long pants, a thick sweater, and pink woolen gloves. It was odd, since it was a warm day. But she's always been a quirky woman, so I didn't think much of it. I greeted her. She glanced at me, mumbling something softly. I figured it was her way of saying hi. Sometimes she was a bit cold to me, especially because she wasn't happy about me moving out. I went deeper into the house to get my remaining things. Some clothes, a bottle of shampoo, a few picture frames. Then I thought about the old wooden box with my teeth in it. I didn't really want to take it with me, but I didn't want to risk bad luck by leaving it behind. I walked into my mom's room and headed for her bedside table. As I was about to open it, I remembered I should probably ask her. Before going through her stuff, I called out to her. She was still sitting in the kitchen. "Mom, can I take the box with my teeth in it?" I called. "It's in the top drawer, right? There's nothing in here I shouldn't see, right?" I waited for her reply, and then heard a faint mumble, sounding like agreement. So I pulled open the drawer and took out the little box sitting on a stack of old photos. I opened the box, expecting to see about 20 teeth, but to my surprise, it was packed with about 100 teeth, more than I could have lost over my entire life. There were at least 100 pearly white teeth, piled on top of each other. As I was staring at the box, I heard a sound behind me. I quickly turned around and saw my mom standing there. She mumbled something again, but I realized her mouth hadn't moved. Something was definitely wrong. First, she was just making sounds, not speaking. Second, she was collecting teeth that didn't belong to me. What was going on? "Whose teeth were these? What do you need them for?" I asked, demanding an answer. She just stared at me. Her eyes gave me a sort of answer. She looked terrified. I could tell just by looking into her eyes. But was she afraid because I had discovered her terrible secret? Or because she feared some dark, dreadful thing would happen to her? Then she opened her mouth to give me a more detailed explanation. When she parted her lips, I saw a normal row of teeth. Then she opened her mouth wider, tilting her head back slightly, revealing a second row of teeth at the back, growing out of her gums. Her mouth was full of white teeth, and then I noticed teeth growing from the bottom of her mouth, sprouting along her tongue, growing upwards. I screamed in horror, shocked and terrified by what I saw. She looked into my eyes, as if she had expected this reaction all along. Then she raised her hands, grasped one gloved hand with the other, and peeled off the glove from her left hand. sprouting like seedlings from her skin. Her hand was completely overtaken by enamel growth, with no skin visible beneath the teeth. Seeing this made my stomach churn. I felt nauseous and terrified. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Then my mom took off the other glove, revealing the same hand, covered with teeth. Teeth were piercing through her skin. Sensing my disgust, I thought she might stop there. But she took off her sweater, revealing rows of teeth all along her arm. I didn't need to see it to know that her legs were probably covered in teeth too. I didn't know what to do. I knew I should try to help her, but the sight before me still had me in shock. I knew I should try to help her, but the scene before me hadn't allowed me to recover from the shock. Then Mom turned around and left the bedroom. I stood there for a moment before following her, feeling anxious. She grabbed a pen and pressed it onto a piece of paper on the dining table. She began writing. I walked over to the table, curious about what she wrote. At that moment, I was very scared, hoping she could provide more explanation for this. I went over to look at the paper. What she had written was the most terrifying thing so far. I know you're scared. I was also scared when I discovered your grandmother like this. She looked terrible, just like I do now. She didn't know what she was encountering. But fortunately, death will come soon to end this suffering. I never imagined I would encounter such a thing. I had prayed it wouldn't happen, but reality is like this. Now I suffer as much as my mother does. I regret to tell you this, but I think it might be a genetic disease.